evening. I am Shubhra from New Delhi, and you must have seen in my previous video that I had prepared a Khajuri Shahi Tukra, which is a very royal Indian dessert. But then in today's video, in today's episode, you can say I'm going to prepare something. I'm going to prepare an Indian food, giving it an international touch, which you can call as a fusion food. So today's dish name is Bharwa Murg with tomato salsa. And for that we have coriander leaves over here, we have garam masala powder, then this is minced chicken, this is cardamom powder, this is your salt, garlic paste, ginger paste, cheese, mustard oil, chicken breast, and here we have onion, some garlic, tomato and lemon, and some fresh green chilies. So we are going to start off with preparing the keema first. We are going to start off with preparing the filling first, which we are going to put inside the chicken breast. So for that, we'll start off with taking this minced chicken and adding some garam masala powder to it. Just a little bit, because garam masala has got a very strong aroma. And now I'll add some salt. You can add the salt as per your taste level. Now I'll add some grated cheese to it. Not the whole, but yeah, a little bit which suffices the keema. When you're stuffing something and filling cheese into it, it totally gives a very different taste to it, because you know, when the cheese melts and it goes inside your mouth, you can actually feel the burst. So here I am grating some cheese. I think it's almost done. So we are done with this. I'll take the extra cheese that is left in the grater and I'll add this into the bowl. Now I'll add some fresh coriander leaves. I'll chop some of the coriander leaves and I'll add this to the keema. Now what happens when you put coriander leaves in any food? You know, it gives a very fresh taste to it, because and that too, if you use fresh coriander leaves, it gives a very soft and very, you know, fragrant touch to the food that you're making. So not much, but a little bit of coriander leaves will go inside my filling. I'll chop these finely. I think we'll need a few more coriander leaves. It's very essential to remove the thick stem that is there, because it unnecessarily piles up into the food. But then yes, if you're garnishing your food with coriander stems, you know, the main fragrance is there in the coriander stem itself. We are done with chopping the coriander leaves. I'll add this into it. We'll mix it. I think it's better to use my hands, because you know, mixing becomes more easier then. When it comes to Indian spices, it's you know, when you want to have like a fresh fragrance into your food, you must roast your spices and then pestle it. Then actually, I mean, even if the recipe is like very easy, but that gives your food a very fragrance touch, you know, which can be enjoyed by everybody. So here we are done with the mixing of the chicken mince. We're almost done. Correct. And now I have the chicken breast over here. So what I'm going to do is, I have already cut the breast into half. Here, so that it actually gives you a butterfly kind of a shape. Now what I'll do is I'll use this cellophane paper, because the thick the meat is, the nicer it is while cooking. I'll beat the chicken with the hammer. You can beat it with any hammer. Since I had the pestle with me, so I'll do it with this. I'll beat the chicken so that it becomes a little thin. I think we'll have to beat it more from this side. So this is the first time that I'm preparing something like this, and let's see, I mean, what the result actually is. Yes, we're almost done. So here we have the chicken breast, which I have just beaten with a hammer. Now what I'll do is I'll add the filling into it. I mean, we can add a little bit of filling. I mean, not too much. And because we have to make sure that, you know, when we give it a fold, it does not the filling does not come out. So I think this much of filling is perfect. I'm going to roll it a bit. Now you have to make sure that, you know, the breast that you get cut, the butcher actually cuts it very properly. Otherwise you'll have a lot of problem while doing the filling. Now what I'll do is I'll marinate the chicken. So for that we need I'll put the chicken into this bowl, and I'll add some of ginger paste. I'll add some garlic paste. Now some ginger, just a little bit. It totally depends on the portion that you're making. Some oil. That's it. A little bit of cardamom powder, because as I told you, cardamom actually gives a very strong flavor to your dish, and it's actually very essential when you're cooking something Indian. So you know, the usage of spices like clove, cardamom, cinnamon, and all of that in roasted form, like cumin and all of that, it gives a very nice essence to your food, and it actually makes it very delectable. Some garam masala, and we are almost done with this. I'll add a little bit of salt into it too. I'll grease the chicken with the marination. I'll leave it for another 20 minutes while we prepare the salsa mix. So we have just greased out the chicken breast nicely with the marination, and it's almost done. I'll leave this to rest it over here for a few minutes, like you can say for 15-20 minutes you have to leave the chicken for marination. because then all the juices and all the spices gets inside of the chicken, and it becomes more juicier and more tasty, a more delectable food, when you actually have it with a fork and a spoon. So now we'll start preparing the salsa first. So what I'll do is I have 2 tomatoes for it. I'll roast the tomato first. Okay. I mean, you can use any utensil that you have at home, at your home. Because I did not have a good roaster, so that is why I'm using this utensil. You can adjust the flame as per the tomato gets roasted. So you have to be very careful while roasting the tomato, so that you do not burn your hands. And I must, if you would have watched my previous video, I had mentioned that how I love coriander and garlic and ginger paste in almost all of my food, because that gives a very strong flavor to the food. And apart from that, I think that's very important when you are preparing something Indian. I think it's almost done. It will just take like 2 to 3 minutes more. So as you see the skin peeling off and a little burnt on the sides, you get to know that your tomato is roasted to perfection. So we'll do the same with the other tomato. It's almost done, but I'll roast it a bit more because we have to make salsa and it has to look nice and juicier. I am also a Delhi-based food blogger and a video blogger. So I usually go to restaurants, taste their menus, taste their food items that they have to present, their presentations and everything. And I run a page on Instagram and Facebook by the name of Eatalize. So which basically means eat and socialize. Because if you eat alone, that's not a very good part, I think. But then yes, when you eat while socializing with people, when you sit down to eat with different kind of people, you get to know a lot about their culture or their taste and the similarities. And I think it makes you more knowledgeable about the world that we live in, especially when it comes to the food world. So I have the other tomato to roast now. I'll leave it to rest for a while. So you have seen over here, how the skin has just peeled off. So you get to know that your tomato has roasted fully. And the pulp becomes more softer, and juicier. As you can see, the juice is also dripping almost out of the tomato. I'll let it cool for a while because obviously I cannot peel it while it's so hot. And I'll start roasting the other tomato over here. So I'm very fond of seafood, make me eat anything when it comes to seafood, be it calamari, be it a squid, be it prawns, or be it any kind of a river fish, or any crab. I'm like fond of all of those. But yes, what I essentially enjoy cooking is chicken and mutton the most. And also, when I talk about mutton, I have this thing, it just comes to my mind while I talk about mutton, because, for mutton to enjoy it more nicely, other than the spices and all, what is more important is that your mutton is tender. And, the mutton that you buy in the shop is always freshly cut over there. And it has to be very small. The smaller the goat is, the tender the mutton becomes. And also you do not get such tender meats and all in big cities like Delhi and all. But then yes, you necessarily need not go to smaller cities. But yes, there are many hearts and meat shops where you can order for your smaller goats and everything, and they'll get it to you. So this was just a suggestion. If you